And he would say, my nephew can do that. My nephew is capable of doing that. And his confidence in me made confidence in myself. Among the Navajo people, one of the relatives that we have in our lives that is very much different in a way that we have a special relationship with them is if you're a boy, you have an uncle, which would be your mother's brother. And he is very important and as an individual in helping you understand things. And there are certain ways to talk to your mother traditionally. There are certain ways to talk to your father, and certain ways to talk to your sister, and certain ways to talk to your brother. But the uncle, your mother's brother, is the only one that you can talk to in just about any way that you choose to talk to him. And the relationship between the two of you, is that I remember my uncles and how they would address me whenever they were going to talk to me or say something to me. They'd say, "Die, should die." That would mean my nephew to him, from him. And I had 4 uncles, and the youngest one, he was not very much older than my oldest brother. But whenever my mother and father and all of the adults left, they would put him in charge, sort of like the babysitter. But he always took advantage of that opportunity, and he would test our endurance and test our patience. I remember one time that he cooked some food for us. And back then, we didn't have a table. We would sit on the floor, on the dirt floor. And the pot of food would be put in the middle, and then everybody would have their cup of coffee, and there was no spoon. And then you had the bread, which could be tortilla-type bread, or it could be fry bread, or any other type of bread. But what he did is he mixed all of the food in that one pot that was set in the middle. And I mean, he mixed it all. He put pork and beans and with the potatoes and some stew or something, but he mixed it all up. And he even poured the coffee into the pot. And so it is that we ate that. And his joking was, well, it all goes to one place, so therefore you can all eat out of that one big pan. And so we did. And that was only one incident, but he was always playing pranks on us. And as we got older, we'd play pranks on him as well. And the one thing I remember is that he really protected me. He wouldn't let anybody say any bad thing about me, and he was always so confident about me. And he would say, my nephew can do that. My nephew is capable of doing that. And his confidence in me made confidence in myself. And so it was that all of the things that I learned from my uncles are really precious to me. And to this day, I live by some of the things that they taught me. And you have to understand that some of the things that they did teach me was not a good idea. And at the time, it may have seemed like a good idea. But as I got older, I learned that some of the things that they were encouraged me to try was not a good idea. So that's the type of relationship you would have with your uncle. Now, my sister in that, she being a female, her relationship with the uncle, to her, that uncle is like a son, because her clan and your mother's clan and your uncle's clan are one and the same. And so the uncle would refer to my sister as his little mother. Shemayaja is what he would call them. And that's the only relationship that he would ever have with that as his little mother. So it is that he would talk to her a certain way, very much different than the nephew. That is, in my case, it would be me with my uncle, and my uncle with his relationship with my sister is completely different. Even though that my sister might refer to him as Shatai, but in the Navajo way, it would be Shiyaj, and that would be saying my son. And my uncle would refer to my sister as Shemayaja, or my little mother. And he would never really offer any type of guidance and information about life and that to my sister at all. That is not something he would ever involve himself with. The relationship that comes closest probably to the girl is the grandmother and the mother. Between the two women, the mother and the grandmother, that's their relationship makes it so that the girl learns from those that are older than her, which is her mother and her grandmother. And so it is that is the way that things happen in the relationship among our people. And those are the things we are told.